In this video, we're going to change the gun from loop pile to cut pile. So if you haven't watched my other videos, the first thing I'm going to do is remove the foot, which I'm tapping at right now. I'm going to use the Allen key that comes with the kit, or with your gun in a kit. I'm just going to unscrew it, and it'll just be the screw and a square washer, if I can never get it off, and the foot. So you just want to set that aside safely so that you can come back to it when you need it. Next thing I'm going to do is use that tool that's come in your kit as well and remove the tip that I have in there right now. This is so that I can get underneath it to change the loop setting to cut setting. You can see that that tool allows me to unscrew the tip by setting it into the two holes. And there's a little washer in between the tip and that screw. You don't want to lose that, otherwise your tip will not stay in place. So yeah, make sure you're setting things aside where you can come back to them. The next step is to unscrew the screw that's holding the plate, the loop pile plate in place. And you're going to do this gently so that you don't strip the bolt, but yeah, and then you have to remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, which I have forgotten here, so this might take me a little while. All right, so I'm getting that screw off. I'm going through this really quickly in this video because I've already posted another video that kind of goes through this area of the gun step by step. So you'll see once I unscrew this nut, I am going to quickly show you how to turn the feeding wheel to raise or lower the setting of your gun, kind of like if it was being pushed into the fabric or not. So you can see there showing how things move. Then next, I'm going to put a flathead screwdriver into wedge it into like a little hole that's on the side there, and that's to keep these pieces, you can see like straight down the middle there, it's to keep them from popping out, and I go over that in detail in the previous video. So now I'm removing the loop. I don't know what you want to call that, but just a kind of almost like a washer, the loop washer. And we're going to put the cut pile piece in place. And so here's where you need to remember that you've got that little, there is a little tiny washer that goes beneath that piece. If you don't have that in there, the gun will not function properly. Now I'm going to use my hand to move the actual piece of the gun up through the cut pile so that I can rescrew the bolt on. So that piece just moves up freely and backwards just using your hand. And again, I go over that, I show that in much clearer detail. You can see that's the square washer that needs to be in place. I go over this in much more detail in the previous video. So this is just a quick video sort of just to show you how to get it back into place properly. The orientation of your cut wheel is very, very important. So you'll see once I get this back up through that little hole, I'll show you how to orientate it so that it's in the correct position. All right, so there we go. We've got it. Let's pop back up through. You can see it now. And now I'm pointing at the piece that's the actual physical piece that you move up and down so that you can put your nut back on. You want to make sure it's all the way up through before you put your nut on. So again, I'm just adjusting that spin wheel, or I mean feeding wheel, to make sure it is in the right place before I screw it on. So you want, whenever you're working with the cup pile head, you want to make sure that you're in the lowest setting, so that if you spin the wheel back and forth, you'll see that it either goes up or it goes down, and you want to catch that sweet spot in the middle where it is both. It is in between going up and down. I hope that makes sense, but once you start fiddling with it, you'll really understand what I mean. And now I'm just putting that nut back on because I've got it in the lowest position. And I'm just going to grab it firmly, but not too tight, just so I can tighten the nut up as much as possible. I think I go through this a lot in various videos, that you just need to make sure everything's very, very tight, because you do not want something coming off of this machine while you're using it, because it's moving at quite quick speeds and you've got a lot of air pressure as well. All right, so now I'm putting the tip back in. So I'm not changing the cut pile height, I'm just changing from loop to cut pile. I'm just screwing that back in and not fully screwing it in because we need to align everything. So now I'm putting the foot back on. I'm getting my square washer and my little screw. There we go. And I'm screwing that in like so. And again, you don't want to tighten it too much because we've got to do some alignment here. So again, I'm moving that feeding wheel up and down so I get the lowest position. This is really important that you're at the lowest position, because if you're not, your tip is going to push into the fabric at the wrong position, and then your wheel will cut at the wrong position as well. So I've gotten it at the lowest position. I'm now aligning the foot with the tip. You almost want them to be flush with each other. By touching it, you'll feel like that it's almost flush. And then I'm going to screw the tip. And of course, you want to make sure this is all aligned. So the tip should be facing you directly, and the foot should be alongside the tip and flush. I hope that makes sense. If you have any suggestions for these videos, like for details that just don't make sense and you want more information, please let me know. I'll be able to do that after Christmas. So you can tell I'm just actually facing the gun now to make sure I've got everything aligned, because obviously from your vantage point I can't do that. And once I am satisfied, a bit finicky about this, then there we go. And I'm going to show you the side view so you can see the tip is flush with the foot and it's all ready to go. And again, if I haven't said, the reason I've got tape on my tube is because it came bent. Yours should not have that on there. Yours should not be bent. I need to replace the tubing on mine. All right. I think that's it for this video. Thank you.